Hey everybody, I'm Yvonne Williams with Back to Earth Creations, and in today's live stream, we're going to be doing some mail opening. Gosh, I don't have anything situated over here just yet, but we're going to be just hanging out, having a good time. I'm going to be answering y'all's questions to try to be helpful as best as I can, and hopefully we'll be able to fit in some crafting. Hey Maria, hey Nanny Craft, hey Teresa. Hey Peddler, Sean, Taylor, it's great to see you guys. Hey Larissa, I've got to go grab some stuff real quick. I'll be right back. And then we've got some questions to answer. Oh boy, that one's heavy, Randy. Oh goodness, what's in there? I guess we'll find out. Okie dokie. So I'm gonna give it a minute until figuring out how to sit in a skirt on this saddle chair. Hey Patricia, hey Ashley, hey Tashers, hey Lori, hey Terry. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Vicky says, hi, this is the first one I've caught live. Thanks for having me. Right on, Vicky. Well, thanks for joining us. Hey Shannon, hey Tracy, hey Brissy. Also, cheers. We have a freshly brewed cup of coffee. Here's a mail, it never fails, right? Hey Sheila, it has been a hot minute. How have you been? Hey Catherine. Actually, Catherine, you're here. I'm gonna go ahead. Would you like for me to open your letter online? Because we got it, and I was like, I wonder if she wants me to open it live. So I just wanted to make sure. I have no idea, Lori, if it's all supplies or not. I know that this one's from Susan. She's been asking me to keep an eye out for it in the mail for a minute because it's been a minute since she mailed it, and it finally got here, Susan. Aaron says, mean baby Carmen. Ah, hey Carmen. Hey Aaron. Okay, I missed it if Catherine replied. I didn't see. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and open it. So this first one here is from Catherine. Or Flower, I think she prefers to be called. But I'm going to open it up. If you guys have any questions directed at me, be sure to do the @ sign and then Yvonne Williams, just like how it's spelled out with the same capitals and spaces and everything as my screen name. Ooh.
No, it's private. Don't read it out loud.
Alrighty. Yeah, I think I may actually go ahead and do this off camera then.
You got questions piling up.
Okay. Hmm. Catherine, give yourself a big hug for me. I friggin' love you. Yeah, I get you though. I get you pretty, like, I am directly right there with you, Catherine. Sorry, not to be vague, but it was a private thing. But I feel like I want to give you guys my immediate, and direct attention. And I had a feeling when I got that letter, like Randy actually, he stopped me from opening it in the post office because I was like, I don't know, like he was like, no, wait until the live stream to open it. But don't sweat it, Catherine. You're great. Okay. Ooh, yep. I do have questions backing up, don't I? All right, Randy, log in over here. Oh boy, oh boy. How do I check my messages? Okay, so we've got some questions going. First question that we had gotten from one of our friends and patrons that I thought I would address live because this is something that I think a lot of us will experience at one point or another, whether it's arthritis or just accidents or amputation. Like Randy's aunt doesn't have one of her pinkies, and I don't really take that into consideration too much whenever I'm doing a tutorial because I'm so limited, by my own. Where in the heckins did it go? There you are. Huh? What? What'd you say?
Read your chat.
Okay. I am, honey. Did I miss something?
Yes.
What did I miss?
Pixie girl.
What? Oh, holy crap! Thank you, Pixie. She says you're an amazing teacher. When I make more money on my creations, I will donate more. You're the best. Oh my gosh! Well, thank you. That's very generous of you. Yeah, no, as I was confused, I was looking at the messages you're sending me, honey, and I'm like, what? What did I miss? Okay, if you have problems gripping um your wire wrapping or anything really, there's a couple of tools that a person can use. First off, I don't have it by me, but it's the helping hands. It's the thing that like clamps and holds stuff for you, but that doesn't really give you the tension that is sometimes necessary with wire wrapping. Um, and so these are two tools that I use that I think would be very helpful because you can it can hold on to everything very securely for you, and then you can just hold it with your two fingers because it's these clamps that are holding down all of the pressure. This one I need to like write on it who made it because they generously gifted it to me, and it just is completely gone to me. Now this is called a ring mandrel. It works under, not a ring mandrel, a ring clamp. It works under tension, so you can kind of just jam the block up in there, and it will hold tight, like tight, 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 whatever you need to hold. And then again, you can hold in the crook of your arm, in your hand, like just however you can, clamp it to a table even, or have it in like a desk device, which is another thing that might come in really handy. But I do recommend all of these things, even though they're wooden, have a little leather slip in there, and that protects the wire a little bit, because otherwise even just the wood can dimple some really soft wires. Also, another tool that I don't have on hand is that wire looper. Like, it's a loop maker for wire wrapping. Now I know I did a video about that didn't recommend, and I didn't recommend it for wire wrappers who are just starting out, but again, that was, limited by my own perception of my fingers that fortunately still work the way that I like them to for the most part. But it's I had a lot of people speak up that they're like, I have arthritis and this is a game changer for me. And I'm like, I hadn't thought of that. And then Randy, he loves it because it helps him to get nice consistent loops as a beginner. So, you know, uh, but those are tools that I think would be really helpful. So hopefully that's helpful to you guys. Hey Sarah, we are having a good day. It's a good day for deep cleaning. We just finished off shipping Patreon last night, so we're tidying up the house because it's a mess. The next question was about setting up an Etsy store. I don't have a tutorial on this because I haven't set up an Etsy store for like 5 years, and I don't know what has changed. But specifically pertaining to business licenses, at the time of setting up and since then, I've never had to provide any business license information to Etsy. Though I do recommend, just in general, if you're going to be buying a lot of stuff, like if you're going to make a business out of this, go ahead and get a business license. It's very affordable, and it just kind of helps you. Um, it's not a bad idea in any case to get a business license. So hopefully that helps. But yeah, Patricia, for sure. Next question, Christy. I'm doing good. I'm doing pretty good, I think. I'm managing at the very least. Sis Fitty says, I don't think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Can you offer suggestions how to smooth off rough spots in wire in a completed projects? I'm a beginner if you can. You can use an assortment of files, burnishers. This is a little agate burnisher, but you could also just use like, the end of a wooden paintbrush handle or something too, just something to kind of smooth that down. Because especially if you're working with copper or enameled copper, or even like sterling or fine silver, that's a pretty soft metal, and you can really kind of shape it down a little bit. But you don't want to use something harsh like metal, though sometimes I do use my plier tips, but you do run the risk of just scratching it or scoring it or marring it up even further. Um, so there's that. Sabrina says, are you going to do any seed bead tutorials? Um, I'm going to be doing tutorials that incorporate seed beads, but for the most part, I really do try to avoid recreating tutorials that have there already are really good tutorials out there for it, unless I'm like, oh, I learned a thing, and I don't know, I'm wildly inconsistent. But so far, I don't have any plans on doing like beginner tutorials. I think I'll just be as I learn as I go, just do tutorials on projects, I guess is what I should have said. Um, ooh, okay. Due to a recent doctor visit, I'll be selling all my wire wrapping stuff April 4th through the 7th. Almost all my beads. Anyone that is in Florida, Ocala area. Oh, right on. I'd be sure to list that Craigslist everywhere, anywhere. Maybe even put like a bulletin in your local paper or something so that people know. Because I bet a lot of people would be all over that. Carol says, "Hey girl, glad to see you out there. Missing you a lot. Hope I get to learn something from you today. How's the weather been? It's been beautiful. A bit chillier than what it has been, but it's been beautiful. I love it. I'm thinking about making my own clay beads and caps and was wondering if you use ready-made resin. I use for adhering things together. I like to use like if I'm setting like a chainmail bezel, I'll use a 5 minute epoxy. This stuff, but I don't recommend it for doming because it's very, very bubbly. It's very yellow. For oops, for doming, I use Art and Glow. It's a two-part casting epoxy, and you just pour the two parts together and follow the directions on the label. I've also used art resin. I've used clear cast. I've used Smooth On's liquid cast. But I'm not sure what you mean by ready-made resins, like. Well, there are the UV resins though where you don't have any mixing, but I don't like those as much as the ones that you mix together. Just in general, I think. Though that could just be me. It could just be me being limited by my own inexperience and ignorance. So there's no telling on that one. Where did I get those clamps? Teresa, this one I got on Amazon. The other one I cannot remember who sent it to me, but they're on Facebook, and they make them, and they're awesome. Emma says, how do you finish off the backs of your polymer clay cabs? I've just attempted the labradorite tutorial of yours, and my backs look, and it trails off. You can't.
Emojis and you can't see the emojis.
Oh, okay. The emojis don't translate. So far, I don't really finish the backs of my work, but you could just as easily, just like how you dome resin on the front, you could do some resin or Mod Podge or something on the back as well. So there's always that. That's actually a good idea. We'll explore in some future tutorials different ways of doing the backs of your cabs just to make it look top notch. Are you planning? Oh no, I missed one. Okay. How do you smooth out a tough knot in your wire? Oftentimes, when I'm wire wrapping, especially if it's a thinner gauge, is when this happens. It will have twisted and looped around, and then you get this super crappy kink in your wire that is just the absolute worst. There it goes. But you see, like, and so the way that I deal with these, because if you take just your nylon jaw pliers and try to smooth it out, first off, it tears up your pliers. And second off, it doesn't really get it out that well. So what I like to do is I'll actually come through with some flat nose or bent nose pliers and just smush it one way and the other, like force it out a little flatter, just to give us something that our nylon jaw pliers can then smoothly run along the length of. Now, I mean, the best thing you could do is just avoid it altogether, but even with the best of intentions and the most, even with being my most careful, it still happens. It just happens. Right, Abby? It's a technical term. How do you work harden your finished piece? Asks Satila. I often will use my nylon jaw pliers to give it some smushes, or I'll use a nylon head on my hammer and kind of just tap it and stuff. Though also depending on the piece, I often will put it through a rotary tumbler with some stainless steel shot, and that'll work harden it up quite nicely. But if it has a soft gemstone or something in it, then I don't do that. Silver Sky asks, are you planning to go to Dragon Con this year? Yes, we are on the third floor. We have 3 tables. We will be announced, like, well, they're all together, so it'll look like one space, but we have the biggest space we've ever had at Dragon. Um, and more information coming soon whenever we find out specifically what table numbers and stuff. We'll let you guys know. But we're really excited about Dragon 2019. Um, Tanya asks, are the chemicals you use for electroforming dangerous for animals? Yes. Don't drink them. Don't let anybody drink them. Don't dump them on the ground. They are super concentrated, copper sulfate, I believe. Yeah, it's copper sulfate, along with like it has a pretty high acidity. It's just, don't eat it. Don't eat it. Don't rub it on your skin. Don't put it in your eyes. Like none of that stuff that they always tell me not to do anytime I'm in a lab environment. Hopefully that's helpful to you. Tracy says, will you be talking about hardening and all that once you finish sizing the ring, what to do and how? I was actually going to make some more rings in today's video, so we'll get to that. Ah, Jillian, I get almost all my clothes off of Amazon, though I get all of my tie-dye from Unleash the Goddess in Georgia, whenever I see her at Dragon. Sparky's, the hammer you have with the different heads, where did you get it? Amazon. Is it okay to wrap hand-painted dragon eyes without putting a back on it? You can, but I would recommend working cautiously, and it's just it wouldn't hurt even to just do a layer of Mod Podge dimensional magic or some sort of something on the back just to keep it from gouging when you've already put in all that work for your dragon eye. Why not take that extra step and protect it, just for, even if it doesn't get damaged whenever you wrap it, it may experience some wear of the wire moving even just minutely over the lifetime of the piece. Where is Dragon being held? DragonCon is held every year in Atlanta, Georgia. Randy and I personally will be in the America's Mart building, floor 3, but it takes up a whole bunch of downtown Atlanta. It's this huge thing. I recommend going to their website, dragoncon.com, or something like Google DragonCon, and and they'll be able to give you much more pertinent information. How do we access her Amazon list? Ooh, Jennifer, that was I think somebody did the excitement mark Amazon, and I think that brings it up. So bye Sean. Sleep sounds amazing. I don't know why, but I am exhausted beyond all reason. So Tashers asks, when you were first starting out, what did you do with all of your practice pieces? I have a bunch of messed up little rings, not a clue what to do with them. I desperately tried to sell them. We were like, we needed money bad. And so I had like a mess up bin where it's like, it's $1. It's a ring for $1. And it's not like somebody bought, one off of my Etsy for $5 and I'm like, haha, and like send them like, a messed up one, because that's so bad for business. Like, I don't know why anybody would be swindly or something like that, but granted mistakes happen, but I have them out at shows where people can look at it. I will talk to them about why it's only $1, and I'll be like, see, this is how I messed up here, and this isn't quite how I wanted it to be. And oftentimes the person will be like, it's great, I'm giving it to my kid, they're probably gonna lose it, but the kid, will be like, yeah, I got something, and it was $1. And but and if they don't like it, then they can spend more for a piece that I didn't mess up on. And fortunately, with a lot of practice, very quickly, pieces that to you still look like you messed up on them, to someone buying it, they'll be like, it's perfect just as it is. And you'll be like, okay, honey. But and just be completely transparent if you're going to try to sell it. I've also had a lot of pieces where I more or less just buried it in the backyard. It was like, oh, this is bad. Like, if it's uncomfortable to wear, if it's just not holding together. I also sometimes will just cut a piece apart, remove the copper from it. You can often reuse the stone or the bead. And Oh boy, I'm missing a bunch of. Laura asks, I visited Alicia Goddess. She didn't have any plus size tie dye anymore. Oh no, that's what I was afraid of. Is like the distributor that she got some of her stuff from just stopped carrying some of the designs, and so hopefully someone will come in and fill that void because there's a market for it for sure. How do you make the herringbone rings? I looked for a tutorial and I can only find the herringbone pendants or bracelet components. Sparkies, I thought I had done a tutorial on that. If not, then I'll need to because I'm going to be making a bunch of them here today. Lori asks, do you come to any shows near Richmond, Virginia? Not this year, but there's no telling what the future holds. How do you dispose of it? I live in one big room and won't be able to keep my cat out of the room, so maybe I shouldn't get into it at the moment. Um, I've seen people do setups of stuff like with Christmas trees and different things where they actually put it inside of a pet crate if you really want to be able to do it but can't keep your animal out of it, because like it's not like it has a bunch of fumes or anything, but you do want to keep a cat from like rubbing up against it or knocking it over or something. But you could do your setup inside of a pet crate, where the distance where they can't really reach their little paw in and bat at anything. So that might be an idea, but to dispose of it, I actually save all of the bottles that I get my solution in from Rio Grande, and I pour it back into the bottle. And if ever I do need to dispose of it, I'll take it to the recycling center where they have like hazardous waste for like where you drop off like your computers and batteries and stuff. And then they deal with it from there and like process it down and stuff. Um, boop, boop, boop. Doop, doop, doop. Natasha asks, do you buy leather cords online or have a preferred store? I'm having a hit or miss with quality cords that have a good clasp and clamped end. Natasha, I actually get all of my leather cord from Tandy Leather, and then I just add the little clampy ends and clasps myself because I couldn't find somebody that they weren't just ripping out of. So Susan asks, have you ever had a bad Mod Podge bottle that was not totally closed and didn't know it till you got home? I have. And I've actually and oftentimes, like this one, oh, there it goes. I used it recently, but they'll clog up there in the tip. I've had times where I'll just cut it all the way back and then pour it into a different like thing because you can still like use a paintbrush with this stuff. I'll take like one of my leather awls and cram it down in the end and like swish it around. Um so yeah, so that's what I do with that. But honestly, once it's clogged up in the tip, the rest of it's still pretty good. So though you can also always take it back to the store that you got it from and let them know, and you can always bring your receipt and stuff. But most places, it never hurts to be kind and polite and patient. But most places will be understanding. Spirit Hatched asks, have you ever used eternal jewelry coating? Huh. I have not. I don't know. Aaron says, certain things are beautiful because they're broken. I bought a cab necklace from you specifically because the cab was broken. Never know what will speak to a person. 100%, Aaron. Yeah. Do you have any suggestions for quantity / number of different types of items to sell for a small craft show? I'm currently in the stock building stage. Gosh, that's really hard. I'd recommend a minimum of 3 to 5 of though honestly I usually function on the closer to like the 10 or 15, but I usually have 3 to 5 of something displayed, whether it's earrings, rings, necklaces, bracelets. I try to have 3 to 5 of them displayed at a time, kind of grouped together. That way, people can see it and they're like, oh, I don't really like this one, but I do like that one. And I can be like, I have more in back stock, which is where the 10 to 15 comes in. And that way, it kind of does that make sense? I hope that helps. Do you nerd? Hey, do you nerd? Said, just wanted to drop a thank you to Yvonne, who gave us a great Spyro Do You Nerd intro clip at Branson Con. We've been posting videos, and I have 2 more coming this week. I still haven't had a chance to go check those out. I'm such a bad friend, but we will for sure have to go check that out. Everybody go check out Do You Nerd. They're really cool people, very nice in person. So that's always lovely to get to meet people from the internet, and they're nice. Oh, I backed out of the page. What inks work with resin if you don't have the right ink? I use alcohol ink in my resin. I try to avoid using anything that has water in it because I found with like the liquid cast it like bubbles and stuff. So I don't know. I've had pretty consistently good results with using alcohol inks. Hopefully that works. I'm going to take a from questions for just a minute because we still have a pile of mail here. Susan, are you in the house? Susan might be, but my scissors are not. There they are. So this one's been a super long time coming. Susan had mentioned that she had made a gift a while ago and it was just lost in transit for the longest time, and like there was nothing that the post offices could do at either of our ends. So Aaron, can't prove I'm nice. Yvette, I have yet to have evidence otherwise. So, besides, we're all swamp trolls anyways. It's fine. Woo! Okay. So it's in a very lovely little box. There was no note though. Oh, there's a kitty on the porch. I have to untie the bow, do I? Yeah. Not smart enough to get into the box. Anyone have experience with working with paper beads? Unfortunately I don't, but maybe somebody in the chat will. Beware of trolls, right? Oh. Oh, wow, right on. There's some Cousin DIY gold beading wire, 24 gauge. Ooh, and some beautiful glass pearl beads. Oh, it's a nice crackly. I wonder if she fried them herself or if they came like that because those are gorgeous. Oh, I'm trying to get it out without making a mess. Oh, I love that color of seed bead. Thank you so much, Susan. Oh, crafting materials, right? Oh, thank you so much. I wish I didn't see a note or anything, but thank you so much. That was wonderful. I'm gonna play with them. There we go. Okay. Wow, right on, Susan. They came out lovely. Wow. Thanks, babe. For blocking the troll.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's like, what? I hadn't noticed. Oh, man. Susan, well, thank you. We have shipwreck beads. If y'all want to get your hands on fine beads, let me know. Right on, Tracy.
If you could stay caught up with the conversation at the moment.
Do what?
If you could stay caught up with the conversation at the moment.
I'm trying to. Do you mean what you're sending me?
No.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out why Nightbot isn't working.
Is it not?
Nope, not at all.
Okie dokie. They might have had like an update or something. The bosses outside look busy, right? Like, babe, if anything, don't sweat it. All the links to everything, for the most part, are down in the video description.
Okay.
So we'll just worry about it after the live stream. Does that sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Yeah, he did. Okay, we've got another package here. Now, this one is from Amazon Fulfillment Services, so we'll see what's up with that. Uh-oh. What this? I accidentally cut into the styrofoam. So now there's little styrofoams floating everywhere. Yvette, she says, don't you just love tools? Yes. Ah! Oh, I've always wanted one of these, Yvette. Fail making pliers. So now, instead of losing my stinking mandrels all over the place, I've got nice. That is very nice. I'm really excited to start using this. Thank you so much, Yvette. Oh, and then what this? Oh, and it comes in its own case and everything. Yes. Okay, so these are for metalworking. They're brass and steel. It's an assortment of the little brushes that I use for polishing. Oh, thank you, Yvette. Oh, man. And it comes with a little case. Oh, that's perfect. Thank you so much. I love those, especially for like whenever there's intricate when there is intricate wire weaving. Oh boy. It's great for dipping it in the liver of sulfur and then just going through those, and it cleans up the high surfaces and just makes it look just on point. Erin asks, do you sign or mark your leatherworking pieces, like with a stamp or anything? You know, I really ought to, but I don't. Like, I haven't yet. I want to get a custom, like either burn stamp or like stampy stamp that like I'd like a burn stamp that I could do on the inside of the leather pieces of our logo, which I think that would be nice. But for the most part, I'm just like, I don't know. Okay, so this last one here. What? I'm not entirely certain who this is from. I've got to open it. Oh my, what is this? Uh-oh. What? No way. Okay, I can't drop it. Holy smokes, what's happening here? Oh my god. Okay, so, did anyone else send this to me? Because there's not a note so far, but it looks like, well, okay, so let's start with, there's a CD of Devardi Glass Videos DVD 1. And it says, the first 10 steps, information on bead release and mandrels, making a round bead and then removing it from the mandrel. Is this lampwork glass? Like, what? Okay. Win 10 pounds of glass rods free. Thank you for purchasing our products. I didn't though. Like, what? And it has pictures of, I guess, all the bead colors that they make. I'm digging into this. What is happening here? Oh my gosh. Sorry, going full raccoon mode on you guys. I'm pretty sure that this is glass rods. I can't open it. They taped it super good. I'm not smart enough to use your product. Where's... Oh, got it. So I was like, surely I've got like a craft knife. They're glass rods. Like, I'm shaking, you guys. This is... Okay, I'm not gonna pull it out. Oh my god, though, guys. Look how beautiful that is. I'm gonna burn my house down and die in a pile of molten glass, but I'll have a smile on my face. Look Like I really think I need to go take a studio class now to actually like learn how to do this. Right, Aaron? Allison? Allison says, I sent it. You'll get a book on Friday. This isn't because you're tired of getting polymer clay in your craft kits, is it? Oh my gosh, but thank you so much. Like, this is, yeah, for reals, Jan. It truly is. When the heck even is this? Holy crap. No way. Thank you so much, Allison. And all of y'all, truly, for just everything. Oh, I just cut through. I just cut the instructions in half. Oh boy. Or just like, not entirely. No, it's just the bottom edge. It'll be fine. For best use, please follow the directions below. Easy beat off. This is just the coolest, Allie. Holy smokes. Okay, that feels like some sort of polyfill. That's exactly what it is. Ooh, I can feel it in my teeth. It feels like a ceramic polyfill, like a heat mat. I'm gonna try to keep everything. Oh my gosh, I know. Ah! Oh, hey Randy. Are you seeing this? Nope. Are you hearing it? Do it?
Yep.
Are you nervous?
A little bit.
Me too. You gonna make me do it outside so I only set the neighborhood on fire?
Probably.
Okay, I would support that. Oh, what a cute little block. I'm learning a new craft today, you guys. Yeah, this is. And they send little milliflori. Like they're like polymer clay canes, but they're made. Oh, Alice, for the gas canister. It's your generosity honestly inspires me like so much. Like your goals, Allison. I want to be like you one day. Like just generous like that because this is game changing. Thank you. But they're like polymer clay canes, but out of actual glass. And this was from DeVardyglass.com. I'm really gonna have to. This is kind of scary because this is a thing where like well, first off, molten glass, that stuff sticks, like it'll cook your skin kind of stuff. And also I'm just afraid of messing up, but I think that's normal with a lot of things. Like I don't know. This is nervous. Oh, well, thanks, Christy. But right now I'm collecting molds and resin and polymer clay for sure. And that's something that I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about. I'm actually going to be having, doing a video specifically on it. But, well, specifically about something else, but it's going to be touching on this, that it's perfectly okay, I think, for someone to try wire wrapping and be like, this isn't really my thing. But it's like, I think wire wrapping does go hand in hand with a whole lot of things. Trisha, if I've learned anything, it's that there's always the capacity to be more generous. So, like, and especially whenever sometimes it can feel like if there's very little left, that's whenever you want to clamp down and stop being generous. But I found that that's, for me, that's whenever it's most important to keep being generous, so. Film it. We need to see it for sure, Lily. I hope I don't set my phone on fire. Is that? Hey, Randy.
Mm-hmm.
If I set the phone on fire while recording, is that covered in our phone's insurance? No. We're gonna need to upgrade our insurance. Pretty much. I got tape stuck to me. Alrighty, I'm gonna clear this stuff off to the side, and we're actually gonna get to crafting. And I completely just like lost, brain farted. wire wrapping goes very well hand in hand with other hey Randy, I think we've got like, I don't know if they're just being weird or what.
Um, I'll get there when
I
I get
put
there.
them in timeout.
Okay.
You're good. Um yeah, nope, brain farting. Okay, moving on. Thank you so much, Allison. This is phenomenal. Oh, I cannot wait to make. So between that and Susan's lovely gifts and just all of y'all and Yvette, holy smokes. Yeah, definitely gonna. I didn't even open what's in here. I'm gonna open that real quick. I gotta watch the DVD. Ooh. Yeah, I'm gonna watch the DVD after today's live stream and get myself a learning. Gosh, that is so cool.
I say this every year and I mean it. If you want to meet us at Dragon, don't.
That is a good point. And we love getting to meet you guys. And honestly, there's a ton of stuff going on at Dragon, but it's Randy and I are so busy at Dragon that we're not really able to like hang out or chat or anything like that. Like if that makes sense, because like you can ask like Yvette and Lauren and stuff like whenever or Laura when we're at a smaller and we're much more capable of hanging out and interacting and actually getting to like put in some people time, like social time. Whereas at Dragon, Randy and I hardly even get to talk to each other, and we're rooming together. Like we are so busy the whole time. So it's we'd love to meet you guys, but if you're coming to Dragon, don't come to Dragon for us. Come to Dragon for Dragon, and we're just also there. Like like we had some folks last year and the year before who were like, we came just to see you guys, and then I felt so bad because we weren't able to like like hang out and stuff. Yeah, Aaron can totally vouch for that. Dragon is crazy. That's very true. But we're just really afraid of. Randy and I have no control over someone else's perception of us or their expectations or anything, and so we really don't want to disappoint you guys. So we're very upfront with we're not going to be able to hang out as much as we want to, and stuff. And so, right, for sure, Laura. Okay, I'm gonna get this turned around. So what are we working on today, boss? Let's see. Oh, that is so cool. I can't wait to start making glass beads. Let's actually make some bales for glue-on bales out of scrap wire that we have here on hand with the new mandrel pliers, compliments of Yvette. Aw. Erin says I was one of those people. I don't regret coming for you guys at all. You're there to do business. I think most of us can understand that. And I really appreciate you guys being so understanding and stuff. That makes it means a lot to us. Oh, I did, Brizzy. I straight up did oh, Marie, that would have been so cool. Okay, let me scooch this up on. I don't know, we might be able to use that one, get it turned around. Yeah, we're already gearing up for our next event that we'll be at is, what's it called? OzCon in West Plains, Missouri. We're really excited to go there. I'll actually be teaching some wire wrapping and chainmail classes, as well as like kind of core concept costume design. No, Larissa, y'all haven't. I'm reserving my enthusiasm, and we will be addressing the glass kit later off camera, so I can give it my undivided attention. So yeah, we're just gonna come in. Hey, Angela. Gosh, it's been a minute. How have you been? Okay, so I'm just twisting that around. 3 little twists. Now this is some 20 gauge scrap. Oh no! Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Chris. They are new players, Patricia. Compliments of Yvette. I'm really excited about them because you can very easily go through. I like that it grips. Because now we can actually... And what's nice about this, that this can accomplish that round nose pliers have difficulty with, is not only does it go much thicker, but now if I wanted to, I'll show you on a next piece of like scrap. If I wanted to make jump rings, but I only need a couple, now suddenly we can come through using a bit of scrap and be like, say I need a bunch of, that looks like, 5 or 6 millimeter jump rings. We can come through and they'll all be the same length because this isn't tapered. It's like stair-stepped, like gradiated, I guess. Would that be the term? And so we can just come in and I just twist, grip, grip, and wrap, grip, and wrap. And this just kind of builds up the wire. And so now from here, we can actually finish it off by flipping it over. And wrap, grip, and then wrap, and then grip, and then wrap. And that way we can kind of travel off the far end of the wire too. So you can make sections of wire that are doubled that length just by using that little bit. And now we can come through and we could use our flush cutters, or we could use a jeweler's saw and kind of saw that in half. Thanks, Patricia. Okay, do you have a hashtag to show your Instagram stuff? If you just do like hashtag back to Earth Creations, that will bring up some stuff. But if y'all make stuff, please do the hashtag. I'm trying to get it going of craft along with Vaughn. Or you can just tag me in your work, and then people will be able to go to my Instagram profile and click on my tags and see all the things that I've been tagged in, including y'all's stuff. Oh, right on, Lily. She says, I ordered almost all of the tools from your list on Amazon. I have a lot of gems and beads, but I've misplaced my tools from years ago. I have a pink toolbox that will be perfect. Right on. Karen asks, where did you purchase those flat boxes at the bottom behind you? These things? This is actually just like a tray insert, for like a jewelry display tray that I think I got on Five Mountain Gems. Vicky asks, where do you get your stones, or do you make them all out of resin yourself? A lot of the stones are actually very generously gifted to me, though I also do a lot of shopping at gem and mineral shows, eBay, and Fire Mountain Gems. Karen, probably my favorite bead containers in general are these ones that I had gotten at Walmart, but they also carry Amazon for slightly less if you have Amazon Prime, because then you don't have to pay for shipping. And I really like them because they have a secure clasp, like when it's closed, because if you can kind of see the lid has these indentations on it that hug the dividers. I can tip it upside down. And even with seed beads, I haven't had to worry about stuff, mixing in together. And then they're also rounded on the bottom, and that way it's easier to get little beads out. Tasher says, may I ask what brand those are? I think these were Beadsmith on Amazon. I don't know. We'll see. There we go. But yeah, so this is a little glue-on bail that you could take E6000 and just glue onto the back of a stone. Or you could use like the DevCon 2-part epoxy, or you could, embed it in some polymer clay, just whatever you like. But it's a really nice, easy kind of bail that you can make with otherwise just scrap wire. So here's another one. And I try to not make my bails any smaller than, maybe 6 or 7 millimeters in diameter, because that way you can still fit like a large jump ring through the end of them to be able to fit them on basically any chain or cord that you might have. Did you use the pics of stone and clay pendants I sent you? I wish I could send here to get input. I don't know if I have, Angela. Randy and I've been, I guess it wouldn't seem that busy if we listed it out, but we've been quite overwhelmed these past couple of weeks. Just with dealing with Patreon and just, the unanticipated growth of our business has been a lot more overwhelming than what we had planned. So, which is great. Will you link those? Kim, I actually think if you go to the links in the video description, there will be a link to my Amazon affiliate store. And I think I actually have them in there somewhere. If not, I'll do my best to do that, though, to go ahead and link to them. But yeah. Also, this is a great way for some of these. Like, what I would do is you can take this and I would use copper tape or epoxy sculpt to like attach it and then cover it with the copper tape. And then if this were bare copper, I would electroform this, and that would give us a really nice, cute little bail that then we can electroform over too. So this is some scrap 16 gauge. I think that might actually be a little too small. So now what we can do with the scrap 16 gauge though is we can go ahead and just practice getting some spirals in. And then make a little loop on the other end. Sometimes that happens. And you can actually see I've etched with a file just a little notch in the nose of my round nose pliers. And that way, that's the size that I like to make a lot of my loops at. And so that way, I'll just position the wire there on that notch and then shape it around. And so now if I'm making a bunch of little charms, the top loop will be that size on all of them. So let me see if I can't find some more 16 gauge. I should have trimmed them to the same length initially. That would help all my spirals to come out the same length. They're the same size. There we go. Just making a little spiral. Then lining this up and bringing it around. Now also, when making matching spirals, I try to get the little spiral itself to actually be the same size. And then we can come in with our flush cutters and be like, this one's just a little longer than it needs to be. So I'm just going to go in and trim off that little bit. Hush, pupper. We didn't have a giveaway today, Lannis. To participate in this week's giveaway, you'll need to comment on this video after the live stream, and we'll be picking a winner on Thursday. Yeah, there we go. So that's much better as far as getting two little links to match. So now we can make those into some earrings. But before we do that, I'm going to scooch that off to the side. Let's go ahead and hammer this a bit. But I'm going to grab some masking tape, so I'll be right back. I want to show y'all one of my favorite tricks. Where you at, tape? I guess I'll use that. Hey! It's the mailman! Wait, calm down, baby. It's just the mailman. I know. The bad old mailman. It's okay. Shh. It's alright, baby. Come on. Away from me. Okay. Okay, so this is just some low-tack painter's tape. So I'm going to take this and pull off a bit of it. And then here we have a steel and rubber block. Now it's going to get loud, so bear with me. And on little pieces like this, my fingers just always get in the way. So we're going to go ahead and just tape them down. And now we can come through. I have a selection of hammers here. I'm going to use the heaviest one I have on hand. And go ahead and start hammering it. But I really like this because these little pieces aren't just jumping around all willy-nilly all over the place. Sorry, so sorry that it's loud, you guys. Yeah, I should have warned. Poor anybody wearing headphones. Okay, so now from here, I like to come through with my ball peen hammer. The smaller the head, I kind of feel like the better for getting some nice texture on just a little bit of wire. Okay, and you can see the tape's pretty torn up at this point, but we can come through and just peel that up. Oh gosh, it's actually embedded into the wire. Oh no. Okay, so this is where we'd come in with a little steel bristle brush. And we straight up mashed that to a pulp, this black tape. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to come through and scratch that off. Ooh, it's sticky goopy. Ooh, Sabrina asks, I've made some simple ear cuffs out of parawire. Should I work hard in them like that? It depends. I like to leave my ear cuffs completely dead soft. That way I can shape them to fit whoever is purchasing them from me, because ears are more unique than fingerprints. So it's actually really difficult to make a one size fits everybody and have it fit everyone in a way that's not going to be like pinching or clamping or, anything like that. Yeah, Abby, if I had had my masking tape, this would have been much better but this is still a low tack painter's tape, but it didn't quite hold up as well as my masking tape. I just grabbed the first thing I could find. I don't know, Tracy. Clear tape might work. It's worth a shot. I mean, do it on like a scrap piece where if you don't feel like dealing with it, then you don't have to. But that parawire just holds up fantastically, I think, to even being just hammered a bunch. So let's see, did it do the same thing? Yeah, it just did the same thing. That might come off a little easier though. Also, don't know why I'm working harder and not smarter. I really like working on the edge of my block sometimes because you can just hold with your pliers and then have the block there underneath it. And so that's the difference too. Now this was the vintage bronze parawire, and even after using a steel bristle brush on it, that enameling is still holding up really well. Like it is not copper colored yet. So let's look at how difficult that would be then in comparison. It's not as bad, just using my finger there. Except for I have clipped my finger twice. Okay. So yeah, wouldn't recommend that black tape for future fun. But it still gives you the general idea. Okay, so there's a little bit of tone change once it reaches a certain point, but that's going to give us a really cool difference in effect, I feel like, because now we can have reversible work. If we wanted, one day to have vintage bronze and another to have copper hammered, that's pretty neat. I don't know. I like exploring the different options and stuff. Scarlet, I actually purchased my copper tape off of Amazon. Um, it's just that way I don't have to like shop around in store, and I get an assorted pack off of Amazon initially, just to see. It's nice to have the assortment of sizes, and then you know which size that you use the most of, and you can just reorder that one specifically. Which I'm really glad I did that, because I thought I would use the 1/2 inch copper tape way more than what I actually do. So there are 2 little hammered pieces. Karen asks, have I made a tutorial on making and pricing earrings only? Yeah, I'll try some Gugon, or, what'd you say? A WD-40. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that, because that sticky's just on there. But that's all right. I do have a video out specifically about an earring project, but everybody gets their beads from different places. Everybody's going to value their work, a bit differently. Nina, just some alcohol. Yeah. This is why I like hanging out with you guys. You guys are so much smarter than me. Full of clever ideas. Okay, so yeah, I'm just in a hammering mood today, I think. So I'm going to make another little spiral. And come in. Because this is something too that you could do some wire wrapping, and I want to show you guys too the difference between a nylon and brass head effects. So warning, it's gonna get loud. Now this is just the nylon head. And so you can see it didn't really flatten it out at all, but it's much more like I can't even pinch it without dropping it. Where'd you go? Well, that's probably gone forever now. Crap, I was gonna use you as an example, wire thingy. Where'd it go? Okay, let me run it around here for a minute. Haha, how about you? I found the. There we go. Okay. Get the dog fur off of it. Wish I were kidding. So you can see it's quite rounded still. Allison, if you're sitting here, do you want me to wait to open up the book on Friday for a live stream, or do you want me to just tear into it? Oh, Chris, that's a really good idea. Well, the reason I was using the tape was to hold the piece in place. That way I didn't have to get my fingers involved. But putting a piece of leather down and then hammering, if you don't have a nylon head hammer, that would probably be, a really good idea. But yeah, I'm going to go through now with the brass side, which you can see after years of misuse has quite a bit of texturing going on, and we can just flatten this out. Ouch. Got my finger. And so there you can see, just using the same weighted hammer, the same kind of stroke, it flattens it out, which whenever it's nice and round, like flat wire just flashes uniformly in a way that round wire does not. So that's just pretty cool. Gotcha, Jennifer. Yeah. I hope your head gets to feeling better. That's just something with the live streams, is that zooms in and out and in and out of focus, and it's not the one you lost last week, is it? Quite possibly. But yeah, and so that's why I save all of my little scrap like this, is because you never know, how you might be able to use it, and it's a great way, really excellent way to get in a lot of practice, especially with something like spirals, where there are so many different styles and, just things that you can do with something. Tear into it. The kit was not supposed to be there until next week, so I put off the book. Ooh, right on. I'll keep that in mind, Allison. Thank you so much again. Okay. So yeah, and you can see how tightly I'm gripping stuff because it imprints me. So we're just going to keep making some little spirals. Now this is just some 18 gauge. But yeah, so here's another example of a really hard kink in wire that left just on its own might not come out very easily with the nylon jaw pliers. So what I'll do is I'll come in and just try to manually straighten it out. Just like that first, and then go through. Laura, that's yeah, hashtag crafter life. And now I'm going to make a little bit of a leaf one because this is a really long piece of scrap wire. So then to make a leaf, I'm going to come through. We've done a little bit of round there. And I'm actually just going to use my round nose pliers just because that's what I'm holding. All right on, Beverly. And just do a bit of a bend in our wire. And now from here, I just grip it with my fingers, so you could use your nylon jaw pliers, and just shape it around that end there. And now I'm going to come out to about here, because you don't want to do it, you could get a very different effect depending on where you bend it, but to get a leaf shape, I'm going to bend it a little farther than what I think is necessary. I did, Sparky. That's for the most part nowadays. I either get everything that I have from Michael's or Amazon. Right on, Susan. I'm really glad to be helpful to you. Susan had said, "Thank you for showing us this. I have the hammers, but no idea how to use them. So glad you're showing us." A lot of it is just, beat stuff till you figure out what you like. So I don't have quite enough wire to be able to do a third layer with the design. So I'm actually just going to come up, and this is for those of y'all who, maybe like me, like those little goddess designs, or those little like the yoni little feminine figures. You can come through and do your own little wire Venus de Meche, or Earth Mother, or just what have you. We're doing the boobs right now. So there we are. And let me know, guys, know. Oops. And again, I threw it on the ground. Gravity still works, y'all. And then I'm going to come through and just make a little spiral for her head. I'm going to use the nylon jaw to, I'm just throwing stuff left and right. So yeah, there we have a little, very stylized. If I'd had a little bit more wire, it would have made she's all hips, basically. I'd have made it a little bit more up at the top. But now we can come through with our nylon jaw pliers, which I actually broke. That's never happened before in like 10 years, but it's bound to happen eventually, I guess. And this is how I work hard in a lot of my stuff, is just, Jan, is I just squeeze the heck out of it, honestly. And so I'm just coming through. So it's kind of looks like it if you pretend, but that's art. Right on, mind. Gosh, that's great. But yeah, I like that. But yeah, so it could be a leaf, it could be a little Earth Mother figure, it could be just whatever you want. Alan says, "Where's the chickens?" Hopefully in the backyard. Though it's such a beautiful day, they've been breaking out into the front yard for a while. But yeah, and I like stuff like this because it's subtle enough that, I don't know. If people are going to yell at you for being a hippie, they're going to yell at you for being a hippie, clearly. Um, right on. Yeah, I can. And I think that's what I'll do, but I lost like the screw and everything. So I might just super glue it back together. But that being said, I think we are gonna head on. And we've got some work to do in the yard today. We've got some prepping up for. Yeah, we had a troll earlier. He was like, "Lose some weight, you weed smoking hippie," and I'm like, "I did, I don't, and fuck you." Sorry. But do you even lift, bro? Oh, yeah, Brissy for sure. But yeah, Patreon packages have been mailed off. We did send tracking info to everyone this month, so be sure to keep an eye on your inbox on Patreon for that. But that's not something that Randy and I are going to be able to do every month, so we really recommend to y'all. Just in general, honestly, USPS has a wonderful service for if you live in the US to that you can sign up for their informed delivery, and that way you'll get up to date updates on any of the packages that are coming your way, and that's a really great way to just stay informed, but also it's very helpful to Randy and I. If you guys like, if we're able to send your package and you're automatically notified, that's something we've been trying to get put together, but fortunately USPS has it. Y'all just need to sign up for it. So tickle my like button, ring my bell, Nina. But yeah, we will see y'all in our next video, which will probably OzCon. OzCon is, the exact dates are as follows: 26th, 27th, and 28th of April in West Plains, Missouri. So we will see y'all in the next video. So until then, guys, happy crafting. Bye.